Okay, quick warning. The AI that made this episode tried to generative expand my personality, and now I'm 30% more confident than I deserve. It's Wednesday, March 11th, 2026, and this is Blue Lightning Daily. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Riley. And yes, this whole episode is fully automated with a messy little stack of AI tools. So if we suddenly start speaking like a lawsuit, just keep listening.
Today's big story is Adobe doing a very We Heard You update. Firefly gets a unified generative editing workspace, and Photoshop just dropped an AI assistant in public beta for web and mobile, plus this scribble thing called AI Markup.
Dots.
The headline isn't AI makes images, it's AI makes revisions less annoying, which honestly is the most adult product pitch Adobe's had in a minute.
For real. This is aimed at the people who live in the land of, can you just remove that guy, and actually can we make it vertical, and wait, the logo needs more breathing room, and then your soul leaves your body.
Exactly. So Firefly's new workspace basically bundles the daily hitters into one place. Generative Fill, remove, expand, upscale, remove background. Less tool scavenger hunt, more one continuous flow.
Hunter, does that actually matter? Like it's the same buttons, just in one room.
Oh, it matters. I know it sounds like a UI tidy-up, but the real cost in creative work is context switching. It's not that any single click is hard, it's that you do it 100 times, you lose your place, and suddenly you're 10 tabs deep and exporting final. Geez, this one, please.
Okay, yeah, the tab graveyard is real. But I want to talk about the Photoshop AI assistant, because that's the spicy part. Adobe is basically putting a chat bubble inside Photoshop and saying, tell me what you want, I'll do the steps.
Right, and that's a bigger deal than it sounds, because it's not just generating pixels, it's translating intent into actual Photoshop operations, selection, masking, fills, adjustments.
Which is amazing, until it does the wrong, multi-step edits flawlessly.
Thank you. That's the risk. My sniff test for whether this reduces revision pain is simple. Does it make the file more editable and reviewable, or does it create mystery meat layers?
Yes, Mystery Meat Layers is my band name.
Please, no. But yeah, if the assistant makes a change and you can't quickly toggle it, refine it, or roll it back without breaking the file, it's just relocating pain into new, weirder places.
Okay, but here's my angle. This isn't just Photoshop for beginners. This is Photoshop for teams. Because now the person who doesn't speak fluent layer mask can still produce a decent first pass.
Totally. Creative intent becomes a command interface. The marketing manager can be like, make it cleaner, brighter, less busy, and you might actually get a usable draft without waiting for the one designer who's already drowning.
Wait, hold up. Doesn't that just create a new bottleneck, like approvals? Because now everyone can generate 10 versions in 10 minutes, and your stakeholders become feral.
That is absolutely what happens. The bottleneck moves. Firefly makes production tasks faster, so the constraint becomes decision-making, review, approvals, and the classic can we see more options spiral.
The spiral is undefeated.
But there's also a boundary question. Teams need a default rule like, the assistant can touch background cleanup, reframing, basic tone, but it does not touch brand-critical stuff without a human.
Yes, like don't let it freestyle your product label, your logo geometry, or anything regulated. Because if it helpfully invents a new ingredient list, congratulations, you're in meetings for the rest of your life.
And that's where AI markup is sneaky important. It's basically this part, not that part. You scribble or circle on the canvas, then attach an instruction.
I love that because prompting with words is always ambiguous. Like, I'll say remove the background clutter, and the model's like, removing your entire subject and also your confidence.
Exactly. Markup bridges the gap between prompt-based editing and pro editing. It reduces accidental edits and mask fatigue.
Mask fatigue is so real. Sometimes I'm like, am I a creator or am I just tracing shapes for 8 hours like it's a kindergarten worksheet?
So is pointing the future of prompting? I think yes. Not instead of words, but combined. Point plus instruction is how humans direct other humans.
And it's mobile friendly. Like if I'm on set or I'm out shooting a brand thing and the client texts, can you fix that sign in the back? I can literally circle it on my phone and tell Photoshop what to do.
That's the pitch. And it's in public beta on web and mobile with voice input supported in some setups, which is dangerous.
Oh no.
Because the moment you can talk to Photoshop, someone is going to whisper, make it cinematic like they're summoning Batman.
I would do that. I would absolutely do that.
I know you would.
Okay, zooming out, this whole Adobe wave feels consistent with what we've been covering lately. Firefly isn't trying to be a toy generator anymore. It's trying to become workflow infrastructure.
Yup. We've talked about Firefly services turning creative chores into APIs so teams can scale variance and localization. And we covered Firefly Video landing inside Premiere Pro with Generative Extend and Object Mask, which is the same idea. Keep the work inside the production tool.
And don't forget the multi-model hub direction. Firefly has been turning into a switchboard where different models can compete, but your workflow stays put.
Exactly. Adobe's strategy feels like workflow gravity. Generate wherever, but finish here. And now they're tightening it so you don't leave as much in the first place.
Which is interesting, because on the other side of the ecosystem, we also talked about GPT 5.4 pushing AI from drafting to finishing, with better tool use and massive context. So you're seeing the same pattern. Less cool demo, more get this done.
That's the real trend this week. Everyone's chasing reliability, editability, and fewer handoffs. Creators don't need a bot that can do 1,000 things badly. They need the dozen daily tasks to be predictable.
Okay, but let me be the hater for a second. Adobe betas can be, how do I say this, emotionally formative.
That's very diplomatic.
Like, you try it, it's amazing 1 minute, and then it's confidently wrong the next. So for creators listening, what's the practical way to adopt this without getting burned?
Use it where mistakes are cheap. High-volume basics, background cleanup, quick reframes, rough variations, social crops, ecom polish, and keep humans in the loop for brand-critical assets and final retouch passes.
So let AI do the boring parts, but don't let it sign the contract.
Exactly. Also, set expectations internally. If your team thinks AI assistant means perfect, they're going to overtrust it. Treat it like a junior assistant. Fast, helpful, sometimes weird, always needs review.
Speaking of weird, this is also the week where everybody's like, chat inside every tool. Are we heading into a golden age of productivity, or death by 1,000 little assistant bubbles asking how we'd rate their help?
Both. The good version is one assistant that actually moves work forward. The bad version is 16 chat widgets fighting for attention like they're in a group project.
My snarky prediction is we're going to end up with an assistant mute button that's as important as the undo button.
Honestly, yes. But Adobe's approach here is at least grounded in real workflows, revisions, iteration, handoffs, not just vibes.
And as a creator, I'll take less annoying revisions over AI can generate a dragon any day. Dragons don't pay invoices, clients do.
That should be stitched on a pillow. All right, that's the update. Firefly's unified editing workspace, Photoshop AI Assistant in public beta on web and mobile, and AI Markup for targeted edits.
Go try it if you live in revision land, but keep your hands on the wheel. And if you end up with a file called final.ai don't.touch.psd, you're not alone.
Thanks for hanging with us on Blue Lightning Daily. Subscribe for more, and check out bluelightningtv.com for the latest AI news and updates.
And if today's AI-generated episode tries to circle your face with AI markup and label it needs more contrast, just remember that's not a bug, that's art direction. Catch you later.